Good evening from InvestSharp.com. It is Sunday, August 1st, and this is Randy Smotone with your weekly watch list. So we kind of have a pretty exciting week ahead, I would think. We've got more economic data coming out. We've got the monthly construction spending tomorrow and the ISM manufacturing numbers. And of course, at the end of the week on Friday, we'll get the employment situation report. And of course, a lot more earnings. So I'm sure we're in for an exciting ride. A lot of the stocks are some of the same ones we've looked at. Everything, the bullish ones are still the bullish ones, and there's not really much change there. You know, they have the most momentum. So we'll start out with bullish stocks. The ag stocks are still looking good. CF, looking really good. It's got a pretty been consolidating in a range there, but it looks good. AGUs looks good. MOS looks good. As long as it holds the trend line. Monsanto, a tight range there, but it is above the downtrend line. It's actually looking pretty good. IOC has broke above that 56 or so level. That should be support, and possibly if we have any weakness in the market, you might want to try to buy it there. ConocoPhillips broke out of the triangle. It looks good. It's had a lot of volume. CRR still strong as long as it holds that trend line. We've got past earnings on that one. NOV, it's holding the trend line as well. Just keeps trending higher. It's looking good. Halliburton. Possible bull flag on Halliburton. As you notice, it goes up and flags and up and flags and up and flags. Nice pattern. Good for swing trading. Keep your eye on that one. Sohu, nice earnings above the downtrend line, and looks like it's flagging as well. Looks good. ComScore broke out above that 18, we'll call it 1850 level or so, with lots of volume on earnings. It's also looking good. AIG hasn't moved much, but it is above the downtrend line and tight range with no selling, so it's looking pretty good. Tenneco broke out on big volume after earnings, and that should be its new support here around this 2650. Of course, Apple always looks good. Possible flagging. Apple's been resting here, but it still looks fine. Of course, CRUS, Cirrus Logic, as long as it holds that trend line, it's looking pretty good. CRM, another one, it is holding around that 97.50 or so support area. Possible flag here. Probably buy it over Friday's high. SWKS, Skyworks Solutions, another one. It's sitting right on the top of the 30-day moving average and this downtrend line. So as long as it can hold that level, you could buy it probably over the high of Friday. Looks good. Cree, another one that looks like it's flagging. VMware, still hanging tough, holding the trend line. Las Vegas Sands has been nice volume here. Looks good. Doesn't seem to want to sell off. Holding up really well. CTSH, another one that's been pretty strong. Lots of buying volume. I'm not seeing a lot of selling volume here. Apache holding the downtrend line. Another one of those tight consolidations which are typically bullish. VCI, it's holding above that 32.50 or so, and another good looking stock. Z-Linux holding around the 27.50. It would be a low risk buy point here. You could use the low of Friday, which would be 27.04, as your stop. Baidu, another strong one's already been through earnings and tight consolidation, but it looks good. ROVI, nice move up higher on earnings, another strong stock. GMCR, big pop on earnings, as long as it holds around this 29 or so, that uptrend line, looks good. NZ, we've been watching this one. As long as it holds 15, it's a low risk buy point right now. CMG is trying to hold 145. It dropped below it, but it did not close below it, so it's still holding above the 30, and it's had a lot of volume on earnings. So another one's looking good. Mercado Libre, possible bull flag here, so watch for a breakout of the flag pattern. FCX, another been doing well, and there's no selling really as far as selling volume, and it's just consolidating in a kind of a range bound, but it looks good. Whoops, OVTI. Well, if I can get the chart up. OVTI. There we go. All right, it is holding this possible trend line right at support. You could actually buy it here. If it closes below the 22, I'd probably bail out, but I would say it's a pretty low risk buy point here. I mean, it hasn't had a lot of selling. I mean, it could break down and get back down into this support level here, but worth a try. You can always get right back out. PCP holding up well with a double bottom and should have some lot higher prices in it. Tight consolidation. Market just seems to be waiting on something. I think they're just waiting on more data. FDX, another one, had good earnings, and it looks like it's flagging. Looks fine. Of course, Cummings, CMI, another one, good earnings, had volume, and should hold around that 76.50 level. Deere, looking good. Caterpillar, another tight consolidation, holding up fine. Some of the coal stocks are looking pretty good. BTU is trying to hold its support level at 44. You could use the low of Friday as your stop and get in tomorrow morning. Next buy point, if you don't get in there, if we actually have some weakness in the market, you might want to try to buy here. ACI, another one. Watch for a breakout over Friday's high. Had earnings, a lot of volume, looks good. Another one of these looks like it has bottomed. Intap, holding the trend line, another low risk buy point. FFIV, holding up fine, looks good. Bucyrus, another one that's going sideways, but it looks good. A lot of that going on, huh? Joy Global, looks like it's flagging, looks good. OHI, holding up, as long as it holds around 21.25, 21.50, looks fine. AICI, very strong. So this should be this new support area down here. And possible if you can get it on a little bit of a pullback, maybe it'll flag. Deck looks good. Watch for it to break out over Friday's high with some volume because it needs to break out above that downtrend line. Crocs already broke out. Looks good. It's got good volume. Railroad UNP holding this level here at about $74 or so. It hasn't closed below there yet, so it looks good. Let's see, next, these are just some various that had above average volume. ANV has broken out above the downtrend line. It's had some good volume come back in. This is a gold silver stock. Of course, if gold rolls over and dies, this will too, but as long as it holds this trend line, it looks good. Logitech, as long as it holds this 1550 level or so, which is trying to do, it's closed above it, even though it got below it there. Had good earnings, huge volume on earnings. Looks like it's possibly bottomed. RF, we've been watching this one. It needs to break out higher, but possible double bottom on this one. OSK, another lots of high volume, all buying here, even though it's a tight consolidation. It looks like it wants to go higher. Vail needs to break out over this high here of 28.31 with some volume. Clean Energy, another one that looks good. Possibly has bottomed as well. Then here's some triangles. GOLD, of course, triangles can break to the upside or downside, but typically they will break towards their trend. WL's already broke out. It looks good. IP hasn't broke out either direction yet, but looks good. DLR, Fire broke out Friday on earnings, looks really good. TOT needs to break out over Thursday's high. PNC still in its triangle hasn't broke either way yet, but keep it on your list. Same here, another been working on this triangle for a while is Rackspace. GS broke out of its triangle last Thursday. It's holding up fine. Celgene Corporation broke out Friday on earnings looks good. SLB in a more of a kind of a little pennant, but it looks good. Watch for it to break out. NYX longer term triangle, tight consolidation. Looks like it wants to break out to the upside if the market will strengthen. And BEXP, when watching this, was still holding at 17, and that should be your area of stop is probably Friday's low or so. And that's it. So here's what I covered, and hopefully we'll have a great trading week, and thanks for watching.